What up, though? Welcome back to another episode of D Sports Gurus. I'm your host, Brandon Fresh Dandridge. I got my man's Will here with me. We're going to be talking Pistons. Go ahead, Will. You can introduce yourself.
What's the word, man? It's Will. I'm here to talk Pistons. Shout out my boy Fresh for bringing me on to the show, bro. Very appreciative of you having me. Thank you. Let's get to
Yeah.
it, man. Let's talk
Yeah, this is
Pistons.
my guy, man. My guy always online talking some sports stuff, man. So I had to have him on, man. Every time I pop on, I see him. He talking football, basketball, something, man. So I'm like, this would be the perfect guy to come on and talk Pistons. So we gonna get into talking Pistons. So our first topic for talking Pistons, we gonna talk Killian Hayes first. I'm gonna let my man's Will start off. So I guess we're gonna talk about our personal viewpoints of Killian, and we could
Hmm.
talk about uh how we feel about the way Killian is viewed throughout the fan base
Okay,
and whatnot. So you can go ahead,
absolutely.
Will, kick that off.
Absolutely. So my views on Killian Hayes is, well, he was thrown in the fire, as the seventh pick in the draft. I feel like he wasn't ready for that challenge, but I think he accepted the challenge. And I think as his career has progressed to his second, third, fourth year, I think he's improved each of those years. I feel like he's a very able playmaker. He can make plays. He plays excellent defense. So as far as the hate, I just feel like it's not fair, man. Some of the fan base, they're not giving him a fair shot to at least improve, to at least show that he has improved. I feel like the goalpost is raised every time. Monty was even, praising him, saying that he came in showing leadership and confidence and things of that nature. And what I seen when the Piston group was, well, Monty had to say those things because he's the head coach. Well, what
Right.
that tells me, are you saying that Monty's being disingenuous? Is he lying? Is he just blowing smoke? I don't believe that. I believe that Killian probably did come in with that confidence, and he probably showed Monty something. Because I feel like it was a fair shake for everybody to show a new coaching staff what they could do, and Killian took that challenge. And what do you know? He was in the starting lineup the other night.
He
And this is
was. He
coming
was.
from and this is coming from us believing that he was about to be gone because we drafted a point guard second round, and we drafted Jaden Ivey and we drafted Cade Cunningham before that. So, that's just
Gotcha.
my little personal feelings about Kelly, and I feel like he's improving, and I feel like he could, make an impact on the team.
Got you. Got you. All right. So I'll talk about how I view Killian. Like you said, I feel like when he came on the team, we didn't really have much going on. So a lot of the fans probably expected him to do a lot more than what he was capable of doing, even from the
Hmm.
beginning. Like I I followed his draft tape. I scouted him and I gave my review of what I thought of him. I thought he wasn't ready. I thought he lacked some explosiveness. I thought everything that showed up in his game that people complained about, I saw on film. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like, regardless of people want to go off what they was told. Oh, they was told this and that. I think they was told something, right, but I think Killian was drafted off of what he could be, based off
Hmm.
of his size and potential, and you know what I mean. His physical makeup. I think you thinking 6'5", long defense. You thinking you playmaker. I saw what he was drafted on. So I don't think based off of what he was drafted on that he hasn't even lived up to that. I think it's just that people have certain expectations within the fan base. They just want to see a winner. So they got to figure out who the reason why we not winning. And Killian got caught up in that. Everybody
Hmm.
box score watchers these days. They all follow the analytics. Everybody all over efficiency. Nobody paid attention to this stuff before. You know what I'm saying? We knew what it was. It was just you could tell who was the dog by the way they was playing on the floor. And you could
Hmm.
see, dang, if they just put this together, they could be that. right? You could just see that. You could use the eye test. That's what the good coaches can do. You know what I mean? They don't gotta look at the numbers all the damn time. You feel me? And I'm not saying that the numbers don't have impact, but with Killian is a guy who's suffering from being on a bad team, being in a bad position. You know what I mean? Like just a bunch of stuff compounding. You know what I'm saying? Asked to do a lot more than he really wanted to do or feel comfortable to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I agree like you. I have seen some signs of growth. Even last year, I saw a couple spurts where he really put it together. You know,
Mm-hmm.
even though he started falling off towards the end of the season, but I feel like that just go into the impact of asking somebody to do too much of what they
Mm-hmm.
not capable of doing. And that's from all the injuries compounding up. You just,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know what I
yeah, yeah.
mean? You can get the best
Absolutely.
version of somebody when you got a totality of good players around them. And I feel like the Pistons working their way towards that, and Killian can be a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And we starting to see some of that show in the early preseason. So
Yeah.
I like you, I don't feel like the fans should be rooting against that. And I feel like it's a lot of fans that's just already rooting against him.
Yeah.
They, you know, they
Yeah. And
heckle him.
that's
I done been to the games, I done heard it. Like, you know, people just they just don't want to like him. You know what I mean? But I
and
feel
that's
as
weird,
it's other
man.
players, I feel like it's other players who get mad praise who I feel like really should be in that Killian type of boat. All right. And we'll
I
talk about
agree.
that.
I
So
agree.
we gonna move on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we gonna talk about Cade Cunningham a little bit, right?
Okay.
Uh I start off and lead this segment. Um, just talking about my views of Cade, what I think of him as a player, um, his trajectory and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I view Cade sort of just like Killian in a way, and I mean by like they players who have a little bit of holes in their game that if they feel it, they can be like for Cade, he can be a really good player. For Killian, if he feel his holes, he can be a good player. You know what I'm saying? Like if they feel they holes in their game, and I feel like Cade had a high floor and he still got a high ceiling, right? But I do feel like Cade does get a little bit of whereas players like Killian and Jaden are criticized for what they need to improve on. I feel like K gets a little pass on what he needs to improve on. Like the fan base, some fans, I'm not gonna say all fans because I do know certain fans, like my man's right here, who do criticize K on the holes of his game. I feel like sometimes they criticize him too unfairly, you know what I mean, based on K is going in really into his second year. You know what I mean? So even all of these players that we talking about, they young players, like they 20s, 20 early 20s, 21, 22, like they going into the early parts of their career, right? And I feel like the fan base wants to see a winner so bad that they judging these players unfairly. And to a certain degree, I feel like other players get a pass off of they so young, so they should have this leeway to be able to develop, right? And we'll talk about that later on in the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's my viewpoint of K. I feel like he got all-star potential, right?
Mm-hmm.
He still got some things that he need to improve on in his game. I feel like he will. You know what I mean? But I feel like for us as a fan base and as a team to just feel like we gotta build everything around him might be a little bit of a mistake, right? I feel like I feel like we might have a situation where it's more like a 1A, 1B, 1C like type thing,
Absolutely. I
right?
agree.
Where it's
I
like
agree.
kind of like the Thunder, but it's like not one of them is clearly Durant. I feel like it's just like we got three or four guys that's good, and like why
Mm-hmm.
we got to try to make one of them be the guy when we should be more invested on developing all of these guys to their potential. That's my feeling. All right, so that's my view on Cade. Now you can go ahead. We'll talk about your views on Cade.
So my views on Cade Cunningham. Okay, number one pick, right? Out the gate, what were we told? 6'8", point guard, Luka Doncic / Paul George. Oh man. And we end up lucking up and getting the number 1 pick. Oh shit, we about to get Cade Cunningham. We finally about to get one, boy. Ah, no, only 6'6". Him and Killian the same height. That was disappointment number 1. Number 2, the jump shot is iffy as fuck. Like, damn. Like, you ain't gotta shoot lights out, man, but like it needs improvement. I don't know if that's one of the holes you were referring to, but in my opinion, that's one of the holes that needs to be fixed. Is his jump shot. I'm pretty sure he worked it over this summer. So I mean, hopefully we'll see that in the season. But yeah. So I feel like as a number 1 pick, you should be able to make some type of immediate impact to your team. And that didn't happen with Cade Cunningham. We kind of regressed, even though he did have an injury riddled rookie year. Okay. And okay, all right, so we can use that as an excuse. But for the duration of the time that we did get to see him his rookie year, was that much of a change to the team? Not really. I mean, but I kind of look at Paolo Banchero. I'm not trying to compare them as players, 2 different positions, whatever. I just go off of what I'm seeing, man. He shows you what a number 1 pick is supposed to do off rip. You know, the whole argument in the group was, oh, man, he just need a few more games. He needs to get a feel for it. Your number 1 pick ain't supposed to need no feel for the game, dog. You supposed to come in knowing, bro. You supposed to come in and set the tone. I'm the number 1 pick, bro. Unless I'm setting the bar too high for like number 1 picks, I don't know. But he just, and it goes back to what Dave Bing said, and he got killed. Everybody killed Dave Bing. Dave Bing was enemy number 1. But he wasn't lying. He wasn't lying. Cade might not be that guy. Just like you said, 1A, 1B, 1C. He might be 1C. And that's not a knock to his game. It's just he might not be Batman. You feel me? And there's nothing wrong with that. You can be Robin. You can be Nightwing. Those are good characters. It's not Batman though. Batman got to take you to the promised land. You know, Batman gonna come with the preparation, and we're gonna know how to defeat the enemy and get you there. Mm-hmm. That might not be Cade Cunningham, but you know, he's still capable of becoming a good player / could be great. He could be great. You know, the mid range is there, and some of the comments that Monty made was, you know, like saying like he's not, you know, the biggest fan of the 3-point shot or whatever. And then you look at Devin Booker and how he plays his game, he's a mid range assassin. So if he could kind of follow suit with that with Cade Cunningham, then that'd be perfect. Like you ain't got to shoot the 3 ball that much, bro. You ain't got to be a savant with the 3-point ball. That's cool.
Right.
Kill him with the mid range, bro. Kill him with attacking the basket. That's cool. You know? And and you know, everybody that be in the Pistons group or how the basketball is today, the 3-point shot, I get it. It's very important in the game. I understand. But damn, it don't have to be the end all be all, bro.
I agree.
It don't have to be the end all be all. Just because a guy is not shooting goddamn 80% from 3, don't mean he don't deserve to be in the NBA.
Sure. So
you feel me?
So I agree with some of the stuff that you feel about Cade, right? I do. I think we look at his rookie year performance a little bit differently, right? And I do understand where you can kind of want to compare him to like a Paolo Banchero, but that's a different draft class. So it's like you kind of got to take the best of your draft class. Like I can only compare him to be fair, I can only compare him to his draft class as to will we, you know what I mean? Far as the number one pick, I can only compare him to the guys in his draft class. So now if you feel like, I understand that. I understand we can say he's the number one pick, but I can only
No, no, no,
compare
no, no,
him.
no, no. I just want to. I don't want to. Can I? So
Go ahead, chime in.
comparisons of number one picks have always been made. It don't matter what the draft class has been.
No, I got you. I got you. I agree. You can compare number one picks, right? But to feel like he shouldn't have been the number one pick, or to feel
I'm
like
not
I would
saying where
no
he.
no wait
I'm
no
just.
no 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 wait, but to feel like I would expect him to be like this, right? I can hear that, right? But the argument got to be made for the next guy that we should have got instead of him. Now, if it ain't a guy in his draft class that I can be like, that's a Banchero type of guy, then
I mean,
I can't. You feel what I'm saying?
no,
I
no,
can
yeah,
only
yeah, I
take
get that. I mean, I get that for
because
sure.
because because even looking at his draft class, I
Yeah,
don't look across the class and say like, even looking back right now, I don't look back and say like,
nah,
oh, I would
there's
have
no
took
one
him
I would.
over
Yeah, no,
Cade.
no, no. I agree with that completely. There's no one in the draft. I mean, first year I would have been like, damn, we probably should have took Evan Mobley, but hell no.
Right,
Now there's no one else I would rather us have taken. I completely
right.
agree in that fashion for sure. My point
So
is,
and even with that, I feel like even with that, that's why I'm even more emphasized on the fact that I feel like he shouldn't just be seen as the one. You feel me? Because if I would have had him in the draft class with Jaden or Asar at you know what I'm saying? Who do I take between them if I can only get one of the three? Like 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 I get where somebody might feel like it's clear cut this guy, but that's subjective based upon who we see and how we see the potential of
absolutely.
these guys. Because
Hmm.
I feel like whereas Jaden Ivey, you know, I'm kind of biased. That's my cousin, right? But I feel like he get more criticism on his game than Cade get for his game. But when we look at their numbers, right, the efficiency, Ivy got better efficiency. He got when we look at the turnovers, Ivy get criticized for his turnovers, but Cade averaged more turnovers. So it's like who what are we really
Jaden's more
looking at?
athletic,
I know he's much faster. He pushed the pace more. Like
way more
it really
dynamic.
he's more dynamic. I agree. And that was my argument about even looking at Jaden draft class and looking at Paulo and all the guys that was at the top, right? I knew Paulo was clearly number one, right? But when it came after him, I'm like, I'll probably take Jaden over them because I feel like when we look at the ceiling, he's more dynamic than them.
Hell
We
yeah.
seen that in his rookie season. He's able
Hell
to
yeah.
offer more. Even
Hell
right
yeah.
now, how he being benched, I saw him kind of take a little bit more defense. He's starting trying to play a little bit more defense. So if he add that to his bag, he even make himself even more dynamic as a player. Like
We
I'm
looking
playing
at six
defense.
man of the year, bro.
You
If
feel
that
what I'm
is
saying?
his role, if that's his
I
role,
even though I didn't like to see him biased, this me being biased too, right? It's my cousin. I don't like to see him because I'm looking at the potential of his career, right? I still
right?
see the holes in his game and what he got to fix in the ceiling. I still see him as he still got all-star potential, right? But okay,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna take a step back and look at it from a team standpoint, right? All right, I kind of lost my train of thought, right? But but anyways, right? He still got six-man potential. I looked at the lineup they put out there the other day, and I kind of liked it. And I was with Killian in there, right? I'm
Hmm.
like, yeah, okay. If Killian playing to his potential, then you see a team that's starting to traject up to where they should be going to. Now, it's still one player that I don't like in that lineup, and I know you didn't put that down for a topic, but we can end the show talking about that, and we'll just move on to our next topic, right?
Because I think I
Um,
know who you're talking about.
yeah. So we'll just move on to our next topic, right? And we'll talk about Asar, right? And I
Okay.
feel like I'll let you talk. I just talk about I just let you start off. You could just talk about Asar and what you think of him so far. First of all, you could talk about what you thought about Him probably pre-draft, and
Okay.
then us drafting him,
Okay.
summer league, what you done seen so far, or whatever like that, and what you think of his potential and how
Okay.
he impacting the team and whatnot.
Okay. Okay. So first off with Asar, I was afraid. I was frightened because he was in that OTE league and they playing against glorified, I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to talk about no basketball players. God bless them. Hope they make it with whatever
That's
they're trying to
fair.
do. I'm just saying we don't know the type of competition he was going up against. It was I don't know if
Right.
it's social media stars that want to be or whatever. So I was frightened at first, but then you start to watch videos and get a feel for who the Thompson twins really are and the type of work ethic that they've been putting in to get into the position that they're in now. And you hear that these kids are strictly basketball. Like they live, breathe, eat basketball. Like Asar Thompson is not going to be a kid that we have to worry about that want to hang out with the Detroit rappers and shit. He's
Facts.
going to be a guy that's strictly basketball, man. I feel like we might have drafted the future with Asar Thompson. Now you said 1A, 1B, 1C. We can, he could. I think eventually he'll either be 1A or 1B if that's the how the team, forms. We don't know what it'll look like in 5 years, but I feel
For
like
sure.
he could be the guy. Once this game starts to develop, that leads us into whatever plateau we're trying to reach. What I've seen now, I mean, the defense, man. Like this kid is like what he's playing lights out defense. Yeah, although preseason, albeit whatever, but he plays great defense. He's very athletic. Like his athleticism is through the roof, like through the
Facts.
roof athleticism. So and it was one guy in the group that said he doesn't have a bag. Like I mean whatever. I seen him blow by guys. He did it against Dallas. He blew by a guy
No,
and laid
facts.
the ball up. So I mean, I don't know how much they gonna ask him to score, but I feel like he gonna be a stat stuffer, man. He can damn near average a double double, get triple double some nights. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
man, it would have been nice. Wembanyama is about to change San Antonio. That would
For
have been a
sure.
hell of a pick to get. But I feel like we got the second best player in the draft. Probably end up being
I
the best player in the draft in 5 or 10 years, however long down the line.
I agree with outside of Wembanyama, I do think we got the best player in the draft and a star. And before the draft, I was high on I was more higher on Amen
Mm.
on Amon. Was it Amon? Amen.
Amen.
Amon.
Amen.
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 Amen. Yeah. Amen.
Amen and
Amen.
Asar.
Right.
You could tell their
Amen
parents
and
was woke.
Asar.
Their
Right. For
parents was
sure.
very
Right.
woke. They know who
Amen
they
and
are.
Asar. I
Hmm.
was more so then on Amen because I was thinking about like I was looking at it like he offered more versatility, but then when I really look back on it, Asar really the one who offered the more versatility.
Hmm.
Actually, I feel like their games is kind of similar in what they offer in versatility, but I feel
Hmm.
like Asar was already fitted into the role that we would already need him to be in to
Absolutely.
offer that versatility. Like he's
Right.
already playing off ball, so it
Right.
wouldn't
Right.
have
Right.
been a problem
Right.
for when he is playing off ball for him to
Right.
stay
And
off
and
ball.
that and
And
if we would have yeah. Because if we would have got a man in, we would have been asking the man to kind of change his game somewhat.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So it started to make more sense once I started to really see like, oh damn, no, he really kind of offered a little bit more, and he kind of offered more on the, he had more upside on the shooting where their game was questioned at. He had more potential. He was already starting to break out some of that more from what I seen, right? So I'm like, all right, I love his defense. You feel me? Uh, um, I'm like you. I feel like he gonna be a stat sheet suffer. I feel like fans so used to thinking about a bag when they talk about players like what's your bag? What your bag look like, right? They so used to thinking about the ceiling of what somebody look like, right?
Mm-hmm.
when the floor of your bag look a little different, right? And when you look at the floor of his bag, he offer high winning basketball on both
Yeah,
ends of the floor with
yeah.
ease. With
And I say
ease. Like
also part of his.
he don't go ahead.
No, I was gonna say also part of his bag is his athleticism is his bag.
For sure.
That's the
For sure.
that's the bag right there.
His floor, the things he doing on his floor, he doing it with ease. Like it's just in his DNA. Like it's in my DNA to be able to be long and defend. It's in my DNA to be able to get out on the floor. It's in my DNA I can see over the defense to be able to push the outlet pass. It's in his DNA to be able to be successful right now. Like he gonna have the easiest probably rookie season out of anybody else because he's not gonna be
Yes.
asked to really score, and when he do score, it's gonna be like easy points. Oh, this was I took it because I cut and the lane was clear, so I laid it up. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like he did the other day. You get 18, he getting 16. He doing this without looking like damn. He got 18, he got 16. It's just looking like he just out there playing and he making
Right.
winning basketball plays. So
Right.
his potential is really high because he still haven't even tapped into that ego. He ain't even tapped
Mm-hmm.
into the part of him where he like, shit, it's me. You feel me? This
Exactly.
me. Watch out. Like he ain't nowhere near tapped into that where I can look at my cousin Jaden. He came in here with a I believe I can go get it mentality. He been had that where you
Mm-hmm.
got a Killian who ain't even this is the year where we finally starting to see him tap into that. I can go get it. I'm starting to see him go get drive the lane like I want to go get a layup, not just like, oh shit, I fucked around and caught myself driving. Now I
Mm-hmm.
gotta try to finish. You know what I mean? Versus like
Mm-hmm.
I'm going, you gave me the
Yeah.
lane, stupid. I'm about to finish. You know what I
There
mean?
you, yep.
So Asar potential is extremely high. Like
Yes, sir.
his ceiling is extremely high. He can go as high as he want to go. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then you talk about the personality. Like I said, he one of those gen rat type of guys. Pistons been doing a good job of drafting those type of character type of guys. Even the fan
Absolutely.
base don't like Killian, but he's still that type of guy. Like, and
Yes.
they know it. If you really pay attention to the Pistons players and the way they talk to the media, they'll talk and you'll see them describe the type of guys they got on their team.
Mm-hmm.
The fans might not respect the Killian, but those players in the locker room been respecting him because they
Yeah.
know the type of guy he is. They know what he bringing to the
Yeah.
table and whatnot. Like these players know each other. They know what they bring into the table, regardless of what we see as fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's talk about Coach Monty. Let's get into
Okay.
Coach Monty and what we feel like Coach Monty's impact will be on the season, and if we are seeing that impact so far in the preseason. Have you saw him like do anything that's interesting that you just seeing that's a little bit different from what we might have had in Dwayne Casey and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot? And you can go ahead talk about that.
Okay, so we got a short sample this preseason, but I mean, I can already tell, like I said, it's a new coaching staff, a new coach. You want to be able to see everybody. I mean, you know who your guys is going to be, but you want to give everybody a fair shot to show you something. And I feel like that's what he did. And I feel like some people, Killian Hayes, came in and might have impressed them somewhat. So, I mean, is he doing anything different? I mean, probably behind the scenes, things that I
Hold
haven't
on,
seen
hold on.
yet.
Just to cut you off real quick, right?
Hmm.
The Killian Hayes part, right? I don't even see why the fans are so surprised that Killian would be a guy to impress Monty, right? When you
Right,
looking at who he just had at his point guard, he just had Chris Paul. Chris
right.
Paul is a pure point guard.
Point guard.
He's
There
not a
you go.
guy that's on the court that's looking to try to go get 20 and nothing like that. He pushing it, he running the offense, he making the right reads, making the right passes. He's scoring when he got a chance to kind of get his little shots in. That's what Killian exactly does. Like the fans really want Killian to be like a Dame Lillard or Steph Curry. They can't. A pure point guard is so hard to be accepted in today's NBA. But go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, no,
Go
you
ahead.
good. I completely agree, man. It's almost like the last of a dying breed, the pure point guard with Chris Paul. But maybe a player like Killian Hayes can bring that back. Just bringing other things to the table other than scoring. Because, like I say, I mean, you have to score. I get it. It's the league, whatever. But it's not. It's not the end all be all. But as far as like with Monty, I'm just looking forward to seeing what his vision is, and how the guys receive his coach, and then how they change their games. I seen one video, and with Isaiah Stewart, and he mentioned something that Monty told him to work on. So I'm pretty sure he's talked with the players each individually and told them what he wants to see, and things of that nature. So it's all about
What
just
what what did he tell Isaiah Stewart he wanted him to work on? Well, I'm
I'm
curious
pretty
because I
sure.
didn't see that.
Nah, I I'm pretty sure it was the jump shot, this 3-point
Okay,
shot,
all right.
which the other night he
Okay,
went 0 for 7. But I think
got you.
it's a work in progress, and yeah. So
That's all
that's as
about that.
far as with with Monty. That's what I'm just hoping to see what if the guys. If he's able, if he has coached them up, if it's some changes, see if we
Got you.
start winning, see if it click.
All right, so with the main thing that I'm looking to see from Monty versus what I saw out of Dwayne Casey is I want to see competency of putting together rotations, putting together
Mm-hmm.
lineups, like you know what I mean? Just putting the right
Yeah.
guys together that actually play winning basketball, identifying the weak links. Like, cause I feel like that's something that we didn't do under Dwayne Casey. They didn't identify the weak links and get them off the court. And a lot of fans, that's what they rooting for and hoping for with Monty Williams, especially the old heads within the fan base. You know what I'm saying? They want to see a coach come in, be no nonsense, get the young guys. If he ain't doing this, get them off the floor, right? And that's probably what we done saw with Jaden Ivey, right? They probably hit a little switch. And I know that's my cousin, so I really pay attention to his game. I really been watching it. And I
Hmm.
criticize him too. I know his defense was horrible, right? Coming into the league, when we was arguing in the groups about the players we should draft and we was arguing about their weaknesses, that's one of the things that I was saying that was the weakest part of his game. I was like, he got to work on his defense. Like, he got to work on his defense. Like, because he fall asleep too much off ball and all the stuff. So you just want to see a coach that can actually look at the film or can actually look at the game and the way it's being played and get these guys to actually see that, address it, and see it show up in a play. And I think so far in the preseason, even though it's been short, I think you could see some of that show up in these guys' play, right? Um, Now, what I do want to see is right. My bad. I'm a little. What I do want to see is I want to see if Monty got the balls to make the decisions that got to be made, right? So far it's looking like he do, right? They took the number 5 pick out of the starting lineup. He was an all rookie player, right? They took him and put him out of the starting lineup. That's something that you would probably think is franchise suicide on certain teams, right? So that's
Hmm.
something that they did. That's showing that they really got the balls. But it's one player in particular that I want to see if this organization had so far all they showing me throughout this player's career is that they don't see what I see and what I have seen throughout this player's career, right? And this one particular player is
Excuse
Isaiah Stewart. Isaiah Stewart, all right. I'm not particularly an Isaiah Stewart fan. I actually seeked out the Pistons Facebook group just to talk about how much I wasn't a fan of Isaiah Stewart's game. I was upset that Killian Hayes was receiving more criticism in his game than Isaiah Stewart was. And I just know the reason why is because it's so easy to hide your flaws as a big man in the NBA now. Because all you gotta do is be 6'8", 6 something, move around and do a little, you know what I'm saying, get a little wild, which I feel like Isaiah Stewart is just wild. You be a little, you know what I'm saying, and people love you. Oh my God, they like him because he went to go try to fight LeBron. I'm talking about basketball. People like him because he wanted to go fight LeBron. Like that don't got nothing to do with the fact that he can't finish around the rim, right? It don't got nothing to do with the fact that at best as a shooter he's streaky when left open. All right, teams are giving him that shot. I get the Pistons fans want to see him to develop into this big time four, right? But I feel like the biggest hole on our team is the four position. I feel like we really don't have a power forward on our roster. I feel like Isaiah Stewart is a center, Bagley is a center. I feel like Bagley is the closest to a true four, and they won't even give him the shot to actually play for, right? They'll give Stewart all day long, all year. All year he could foul, he can have 100 fouls, be wild as hell. You know what I mean? And I feel like Bagley is the guy who actually played within himself, and he get knocked because he played within himself, and that might lead to him scoring 21 game, and it might lead to him only having 6 another game because he not gonna try to force it and act like this my team. I'm not gonna shoot a bunch of shots where Stewart got a green light to shoot 7 threes, like miss all 7, like two games in a row, then come back and go 1 for 4. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I get it. You got to kind of shoot those shots, but that's my point of why he shouldn't be in the offense. I feel like the biggest flaw of this Piston team is the 4 position. They start in 4 position. They need to figure it out. I would start, and I feel like this can be our last topic, right? Unless you want to respond to the Stewart stuff, right? I'll let you respond to the Stewart stuff, and then we could talk about what our starting lineup would be and what we see this rotation being. And let's try to be quick, right? Because we don't want this show to keep going on. It's been about 36 minutes, right? Let's try to wrap it up like a little bit after 40. So respond to Isaiah Stewart real quick, and then we'll talk about what we feel like the Pistons starting lineup should be and what we feel like some of their rotation should be and what we want to see from the season real quick.
Okay. So yeah, Isaiah Stewart. I feel like yes, he's an undersized center. Offensively limited, but what he lacks in offense, like he makes up with his prowess and his hard work. And for some guys, every team needs a guy like Isaiah Stewart on the roster.
Yes, coming
You
off
need
the bench.
for sure. I agree. Maybe he shouldn't be starting. That's something maybe Troy got to go back and do his work on. But
They gave him 16 million though, man. God damn.
Well, somebody said we should have gave Grant Williams 80 million. But that's besides the point. I think Stu brings something he brings leadership to the team. He brings that enforcer type to the team, that backbone. Yeah, he might not be the one that's gonna move the needle offensively, but he gonna bring other things to the table. You know, some defense. You know, some rebounding, things of that nature. You know, so we can get that scoring and all of that stuff from the Bagleys. And if Wiseman cracks the rotation, some of that nature. But I do agree, power forward is a need for this team.
All right, got you. So, yeah, I'm just even as much as I'm not a fan of Isaiah Stewart being in the starting lineup, I'm still not one of those fans who watch the game and root against him and root for him to miss shots and all that type of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I still root for him to be successful. I still give him praise when he do have solid games and whatnot. It's just that I feel like I've seen enough to see the limitations within his game, and I feel like he's been given more opportunity than any other player besides Cade to be like, you know, to showcase the potential of what they can do. And I just don't, you know what I mean? Not only do we get the option to showcase his potential, but they pay him already. Like they didn't say we gonna wait and see what you do this season. They already gave him the money. Like that's that part right there has been a straw that has had me questioning management ever since. I was a big Troy Weaver fan, and I've been questioning management ever since. Right. Not only that, then they come back and bench my cousin. Oh man, I'm really questioning management. All right. Let's talk about the starting lineup, right? And what we feel like the starting lineup should be. You could talk about your best, maybe 1 or 2 options and what you want to see for this season far as the Pistons and their development.
Okay, for starting lineup. Okay, so I want to see Cade at the one.
Mm-hmm.
My starting lineup, maybe Asar at the two.
Mm-hmm.
Um, wait, hold on, no. Cade, no. See, this, I'm gonna shake it up a little bit, people. I would put
All right.
I would put Killian at the one.
Mm-hmm.
I would put Asar at the two, and I would play Cade at his natural position, small forward,
Mm-hmm.
and four Stu, and then five Jalen Duren. That would be my starting five. See how that lineup
Mm-hmm.
would do. Um, it- as far as like I don't know whatever that would just be my starting five though. I don't know.
Got you. So you
Yeah.
wouldn't start Bojan.
Man, Bojan is like an afterthought to me, man. I understand he like the best 3-point shooter on the team or whatever, but that all
Got you.
that's it. So
Got you.
he'll be gone in 2 years, whatever. So
Got you. All right. So I'll get my start lineup real quick.
mm-hmm.
At first, you know what I mean? I was going Jaden and Cade and Asar, right? I don't really be caring about the whole positions and what we want to label the positions because that shit don't really matter to me. It's gonna end up being you checking him, he checking you, whatever the case may be, right? So it just would be like who my three guards and who my two forwards are, whatever the case may be, right? But after seeing the Pistons the other night, I like the way Killian looked at in the starting lineup. I really would start Killian, Cade, and Asar, right? I wouldn't start Stu. I would start Bojan and go with Duran because I feel like Asar can defend the fourth spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have more athleticism, more space. You know what I mean? I feel like, and you still got defense. You still got three good perimeter defenders and Asar, Killian, and Cade. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can still bring Bojan and Burks or whoever off the bench with Jayton. So you surround him with some shooters. Put Stu in there. You got a defender. You know what I mean? You got
Yeah.
some options, right? I feel like the problem is right now is the Pistons got too many decent players and not enough clear options, not enough clear backups, clear this, that, right? So when we talk about the bench, one, injuries could happen, right? So when they talk
Yeah.
about trading everybody, trading Wiseman and Bagley and all this stuff, right? Injuries could happen and you might
Right.
need one of these
Yeah.
guys, right?
Exactly.
So, but that would be my starting lineup. I would probably go right now at this moment. It would be Killian, K, Asar, Bojan, and Duran, right? So
Very
then
solid.
I have Jayden and Marcus Sasser. I feel like had to earn
Oh
his minutes
yeah.
at this point, right? I feel like he done earned his minutes, and it kind of bring up like, what do you do with Monte Morris? Because I feel like you want to play your young guy before you want to play the vet. That's my thinking, but I know this is the league. This is people be wanting to see vets and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm playing my young guy. I'm playing Sasser, Jayden, and I feel like Sasser and Jayden being on the court with each other is cool because you keep an option, a nice scoring point guard option with Jayden.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Burks. It's just too many options, right? I ain't even gonna talk about the bench. I'm just gonna give you my starting
Yeah.
lineup, and that's
Yeah.
that, right?
That bench is a lot of options
All
off
right,
that
so
bench, boy.
last question, and then we're gonna wrap up the show, man.
Mm-hmm.
What's the record gonna be?
Ooh wee.
And
I say we.
is that a successful season to you?
I want to go. I could say we can. I want to say. Oh man, 25.
Ooh, gee, sheesh. That's light. That's light.
I want to. I mean, shit, bro. I can sit here and be like, yeah, bro. We
No.
40 wins.
what you see is what you see. I love you being real. You know what I mean? I see 30. All right. I see 30 around that 30 area. Like I see around that 30 area. And that might just me believing in and you know them a little bit.
Yeah,
But I'm just gonna say 30. I don't see no play in shit like that or no nothing like that. We ain't cracked the playoffs and nothing like that unless they just start just getting into a groove and
right.
they really build that chemistry, that team where you gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You know what I mean? I see 30. But I do see them getting better. I do see them playing better
And
basketball. I do see
that's a
that.
and that's the A game improvement, right? So I
Right.
definitely I see improvement. That's what I will say.
I don't feel like whether it's a season of success or not is based on the wins. I feel like it's based
I
on
completely on
um
the
the
progression,
development. If they
development,
development, if they starting to play right basketball, if they starting
right?
to look like team
Exactly.
chemistry, look like I feel like they can start building like in an OKC model. Like, man, we just
Yeah,
keep drafting young guys, just keep putting these young guys in until we figure out who gonna be the dog and we build around them. Like how OKC doing, you know what I'm saying?
right.
Or, you know, simple.
They gave Monty a 6 year deal for a reason.
Yeah, they gave him time. They gave him
Yeah,
mad
that's
time, bro.
time.
Mad time.
This, as Barack would say in the group, this is still evaluation basketball.
It's still evaluation basketball.
Evaluation.
I totally agree. Totally agree. All right, man. So, man, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. I'm gonna definitely have to bring you back, bro. We're gonna have to talk some more sports, man. I know you not just a basketball guy. You follow all sports, man. So we can probably talk some football the next time we come on. It's
Absolutely.
Saturday, so of course we got Michigan still playing later on the day. Ohio State and Penn State playing right now. So I'm about to try to see what's going on with that game.
Hey,
We'll talk
real
Lions or something. Go ahead.
real quick, your cousin, Desmond, he might be mad at me, bro. I kind of feel like Michigan State might sneak this one, dog.
Man, please stop, dog. Please stop, man. If he gonna be mad at no, don't worry about it. He gonna be mad at me. He ain't gotta be mad at you because you know we already had a bet on the Lions making the playoffs a long time ago, and
Oh yeah,
best
I
believe
already
he
know.
about to pay what he owe. You feel
For
me?
sure.
So all right, man. Appreciate you coming on the show again, man.
Yes, sir,
It's
bro.
been a wrap, man. Again, it's your host, man, Brandon Fresh Dandridge. It's been another episode of D Sports Gurus. We out, man. Appreciate you, dog.
Peace.